So 00 Robotics have been clearly working very hard behind the scenes to release their brand new 8K drone. That's right, something this small that can fold away and fit in your pocket can capture 8K video up to 30 frames per second. What's going on, guys? My name is Dan Davis and I'm the creative director here on DansTube.TV, which is Australia's #1 drone YouTube channel. And today I've got my first impressions with the exciting new HOVERAir X1 PROMAX. I haven't even had a chance to fly it yet or see any of the footage, so this is literally my first impressions to really get a gauge of everything before I get into my full review. But first things first, I am quite impressed with the design here. Very similar in terms of the overall concept. So it's still got the magnetic holding point here, so you can literally just open the entire drone with one hand. They have redesigned the propeller guards though, and obviously the brand new camera system is redesigned here, so an 8K camera system. It is a 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor, so that's really exciting to see as well. On top of that, we've got new batteries. Everything's new here, really. We've got a button, but it also comes with arrows, and that gives us the option to go between the different modes and a few other settings, as well as a little display now, so we can see what mode we're in, and that you still get all the chimes and all the audio prompts and everything like that. Before I even get into my first flight, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the accessory pack. So I got the full combo, the skiing combo that comes with the thermo case. It comes with the beacon and joystick setup, which I'll show you very soon. That's a very exciting modular controller design. But the thing that I wanted to touch on first is this here. This is designed for skiers. It gives you the opportunity to literally slide your drone in. There's like little pins on this side here that you plug into the USB-C. You get 2 of them in this kit. They're literally tucked nicely into the case here. And then from there, slot it into place. It magnetically clips on top here. And then on top, it gives you a display of how much percentage the actual case has. And it literally just charges it on the go. And on top of that, you can then also output power. So if you want to charge your phone, you can go from USB-C to Lightning, USB-C, or whatever you need to go with. You've got that option. You can charge your drone and your phone at the same time. Perfect for adventurers. That's the little connecting piece there. That is literally just a USB-C connection. You can pull that out, and then there's little pins here that line up on the case to charge it. So you can leave that in for all of your flights now if you plan on using the case, or then you could obviously remove the batteries and charge that individually. And now let's talk about this brand new modular controller design. Honestly, was not expecting anything like this. So it comes in 3 parts. We've got the beacon here. So this can operate on its own. This can be a video feed for you. There's a few little options here to stop a function, to return to home, to control a few things. So you get a nice little display there, and there's the power button on the side, and it's quite a simple little design. But then from there, you can magnetically connect on this guy here. So now this turns it into a motion controller. So from here, there's a motion button on the back, and you literally can hold it like a motion controller, which we've seen from previous drone releases, similar to, I guess, a Wii remote, if we want to go with that. And then from there, there's one more piece. So it's a modular design, as you can see. You then connect on the final joystick piece, and then from here you pull this out, swivel it towards you, and it turns into a full joystick. You can put your phone in there, plug in a cable, and then you can use it like a typical controller. Simple little design. It is a small little display here, but you can obviously connect in your phone and then have something a lot larger. In terms of innovation here, 00 Robotics obviously have a lot of competition in the market, but they have carved a very unique space here. I was extremely impressed with the X1, and so the X1 Pro Max I do have high expectations of. So let's launch it, see how it all operates and performs, and we can just go from there. All you've got to do is open up the drone, press and hold the power button on top, and it will start to power up for us. Here we go. Let's see what it looks like when it goes into its power up sequence. Still got those chimes. And so from here, I can actually adjust some of the settings with the screen. Now, it might be hard to see the screen, but just listen in there. So you got zoom out,
follow,
orbit,
bird eye, dolly track, hover.
There you go. I can now see on the screen that we've got a little icon for the Omni terrain, they call it. So all sorts of terrains it's going to be able to follow and track you. The previous model, there were some warnings around, like if it's too glassy, for example, if there's too much going on in the terrain, it might struggle a bit. The thing I wanted to show you here is the functionality of the left and right icons here. So what this does is it means that you don't even have to go into the app for a lot of the settings and features. I can literally go between different modes. I'm now powering on the beacon, which has the motion controller. From here, I have a little button that says connect. So I can literally just tap on that one and it will start searching for the device. The device was found pretty quickly. I'm just going to connect it up and I'll show you how the motion controls work. So I can see it's now changed the screen to say manual control. So having these two connected has now actually overridden that previous setting I'm in. It's now ready to go, but all I've got to do is literally just press the button once. There we go. We're rocking and rolling. So it's in the manual mode. So with the joystick, I do have some form of control just to look left and right here. Now I want to enable the motion control because that's what I'm really keen on here. Let me just make sure that it's actually, so I literally have to press and hold the button and then move either forward or back to have those motion controls. You can have left and right control. Oh, that's sick. I love that. That's different to get used to, but you do have some control over the yawing. So I can turn left and right with the joystick. I can increase and decrease altitude as well with the joystick. But if I want to literally just go towards, this tree and come back around, I do have that full control. So let's just start recording it anyway and just see how it goes. Okay, so you've got to get used to like 2 inputs. So you've got to do the motion controls, and then you've also got to put input into the stick as well to get it to keep turning. And I'm decreasing altitude here. This is cool though, loving this. It's not going overly fast. I don't know if I can angle my wrist down more, but this is very, very cool. I can see the red light is on because it is recording. So it's quite intuitive to control actually. It really does feel like a motion controller. Simple little button to push and then you just angle in the direction you want to go. Very simple. And then once I want to land, I just put my hand underneath the drone and it's ready to land straight away. Let's now check out the follow mode. I've just got it in mid flat follow.
Middle.
I'm just gonna start the process straight away. Now that it's done those initial prompts, it launches a lot quicker. So I'm just gonna get it to follow me around this tree and we'll just see how it goes. I have no idea what it's recording in. Hopefully this is 8K, that would be nice, but I don't actually know. So we will see how it goes with the terrain changing, the height of everything changing. There's a lot going on, different lighting conditions. Yeah, it keeps right up with me. Keen to test it with some faster pace. So I'm just going to jog down in a straight line so you can see it and jog straight back. Let's see how it goes. Perfect. Another thing to mention immediately that I've noticed, similar kind of sound profile to the X1. Doesn't sound drastically quieter or louder, which is not a bad thing because the X1 is not a ridiculously loud drone for its size. A lot of the other smaller drones on the market can sound really loud. This time I have the video feed up just to show you what it actually looks like here. And this to me is really, really cool. So this is without the motion controls. This is the kind of functionality you have. I can yaw left and right. I can also go up and down. And so you can't seemingly go forward. This doesn't seem to do anything. And then once you enable by pressing this button, the motion controls, then I can press and hold that button and angle it forward, angle it back. It's that simple then to just have those full controls. I don't know if this is gonna work, but mid-flight, let's just connect up the final piece, turn it into a full controller now. It did actually pop up with a prompt saying that it's recognized the full controller, and now theoretically I should just, there we go, straight away. Didn't even have to do anything. You can see I can fly, got no issues with input delay or anything like that. Oh, this is cool. I love how easy it is. That's my favorite thing, when something like this has an exciting new feature, especially when it's a modular feature. You just never know, but this is working flawlessly right now. This is great. I'm just gonna start recording. Nice to have the little video feed here. It's not a huge display. You can then connect up your phone. I just wanted to show you that you don't even need a phone, right? And that was kind of the whole idea of the initial X1. Like, you can fly it without a phone, you can connect it up to the app and get more out of it. But this is cool that you can use the controller and you still have a video feed, because if you didn't have the video feed, you probably wouldn't want to fly it. You would definitely want to connect up your phone. So this is something that we haven't seen in a little while as well. Again, an innovation. And the fact that we've got all these cool features is very exciting. Seems to be responding flawlessly. I'm just going to bring it back and show you that you can actually land it in your hand. And then once I'm ready, bring it down and land it straight in my hand like that. I've now connected it up to the Hover app, and this app works really well. You do have manual control as well, so if you want to use the digital joysticks, you can do that. It is very simple to jump from device to device, and they all so far have worked perfectly. This was the thing I was waiting for. This was one of the big disappointments of the X1, is that we didn't have the horizontal control. It was literally vertical, so you're holding it like that, trying to control the drone. It was just awkward. This time we've got a very cool setup. So let's just just test that. I'm just literally going to launch it, and they've really like refined everything. It's smooth, the transition between device. There we go. So this time I have full control with the joysticks on my screen, which is so nice. Oh, this is so good. This is literally what I wanted with the original one. I'm really glad they've done this. And it's cool how they've designed it. Like the sticks kind of fade away, and then straight when you interact with them, it pops up with a nicer interface. Same kind of functionality you would expect from a controller. There's the button to return to home. We do have a bunch of different settings as well, which is nice to see. There's the HDR option, there's zoom, different resolution options we can go into. And we're just gonna go 8K, one-time zoom. We're gonna go with 25 frames per second, just based in Australia using PAL settings. And then we're gonna start recording, and let's see how this goes. So I can see that the drone is battling the wind. This drone's definitely not designed for long flight performance, but it's doing a great job. Like I am in a sheltered area, but there's still definitely wind. I can feel it, the tree's moving a fair bit. It is pretty slow at this point, the drone. I can see it right back there. I might have to adjust some of the settings, but this is literally just auto default mode, straight out of the box. This is it fully like pinned down, max speed, and this is what you can expect. So there's probably some more settings I can play around with, but you would have just seen some of the video feed there. That would have been the 8K video, which is the big calling card of the PROMAX. I'm very keen to see what the 8K looks like. Looking through the menu here, they've gone with a different design. It's definitely a more professional feel than the X1. With the X1, it had, I think it was flow. It was like a cloud avatar almost, which had a lot of personality to it. This time they've opted for more of a professional feel, which is fine. I actually think I prefer the other one, but I guess it makes sense because this is the Pro version. So let's just go into the follow mode. So very similar to the previous version. Just looking at the hover settings here, we do have HDR. We do also have slow motion now, two huge things that I was wanting to see in this next version. We do have some digital zoom options as well. And then in terms of resolution, we've got 4K 120 frames with the slow motion, which is really cool. So that's an option, or you can go straight back into normal. And then from the normal mode, we can take it all the way up to 8K, up to 30 frames per second, which is crazy, crazy exciting. And it looks like 8K is available in all of the modes. There are general settings as well. We've got ND filter optimization. There's sound recording still, which is cool. And all the things that we expected from this new update here. So HOVERAir's currently selected flight modes is 6 of them. I can see there's the option to add sidetrack as well. So it looks like that will also customize what the drone itself will display. This time I'm going to put it straight into dolly track. So that means that it's going to be following me from the front, and I'm going to run with it, but I'm going to put it in slow motion. So we're going to go with the altitude being high this time, the distance still being mid, which is fine. Rear active collision detection is on, which is great to know. The duration is continue. So there we go. We're ready to go. I just click on switch to dolly track, and then from here I can put my phone away, tap the button once. So it's going to go back and high this time. The dolly track didn't do exactly what I wanted there, but that's fine. Let's just jump straight into sidetrack this time. We've only got 30% battery, which is nice to see on the screen as well. So this should be a good one. Hopefully it keeps up with me. Okay, let's go. Love it. And it literally will go down with you as well. So if I start to go down, it's going to go down. If I go up, it's going to go up. And straight when I want it to land, put my hand out like so. I'll see the record button go off. It will go green. It'll fly back to me and it will land. Now that is where this stands out. It's just such an excellent performance every time. So sidetrack, slow motion. It doesn't say that, but I've set it up in the settings. And then all I've got to do is go across.
Dolly track, bird eye, orbit, follow.
It's now in follow.
Middle, follow.
And this is going to be 8K. So I just let it do its thing. I move too quickly again. And there we go. That's how simple it is to swap from slow motion side tracking, having it land on my hand, change the settings without a controller. It's now following, recording in 8K. That simple. Worked flawlessly, no delay. And this is exactly what I wanted to see from the next version of the X1. The PROMAX right here is doing a killer job. In terms of battery life and battery performance, they're saying you get 16 minutes with this unit now. You never get the full 16 minutes. That's in an ideal perfect scenario. Let's say even if we get 12, 13 minutes, that's a nice improvement over the original. I'd imagine 13 to 14 minutes would be realistic in a more contained environment. If you're gonna be flying in crazy winds, constantly recording in 8K, doing all sorts of following modes and whatnot, maybe the battery will drain a bit more, but quoted at 16 minutes, which is a huge improvement over the original. The other option you have is to fully connect up your phone as well, so you can use the two little grips down the base. They feel very nice and secure in there. Plug it in and then you can use your phone as an additional display as well as the main display in the middle there. Honestly, this controller is so cool. Like when you're done with it, all you got to do, swivel it around, clicks into place like so, swivel this around and then it will click into place. You can even leave the cable in there because there's just a spot there where it can sit in. And then if you need to disconnect it, because it is a modular design, you just push these two buttons in and then pull it off like so. It's really that simple. You can break it down into 3 different pieces and it's such a cool, unique modular design. I'll just hold it off to the side like this. Very close to the camera. Okay, let's see how it goes. And it's coming back, hopefully just in front of the camera. Come down a little bit and you're in the camera. Stop recording now. Okay, and then it just lands like so. Let's now go with bird's eye. So this is where it goes directly up and looks down at us. And we're gonna make it 25 frames per second in 8K, just the normal video mode. Altitude, we're gonna go with 15 meters, so higher than that previous one. Let's see how this one goes over here. But it's looking down at me, and then it should just start going up 15 meters. It'll be interesting to see how it goes with the wind. Oh, it's going pretty high. Wow, seems to be handling it perfectly fine. Can you see what the footage looks like? Coming directly down now. Hopefully we're even in the frame, who knows? Oh, getting dizzy. So the core functionality of this is very similar to the original, which I was extremely impressed with. It's flawless, but we get the options now to change everything through the screen here. So once we're used to everything and we've got all our parameters and settings in the app, theoretically, you could just use this system on its own without anything, or you could go to one of the various other control options, which are very exciting. I'm now gonna go with an orbit. We're gonna keep this one really close. Okay, this should be good. Let's hope that 2.5 meters is nice and close. Yeah, this will be fine. Oh, look at this. Just does what it needs to do for us. Nice and simple, very smooth. The flight does seem a lot smoother than their original version. I was impressed when it went up nice and high before. That was a quick little rotation. Nice work. That is how simple it is. I really just wanted to show and amplify how simple it is to just fly this thing. So this time we're gonna go into follow, but I'm actually gonna change some of the parameters from the drone itself. So you press and hold on the left arrow. That gives me the option to go between mid, far, and close. So this time we're gonna go with far, and then press and hold on the right arrow to go across. And I've got the option of flat, high, or low. So we're going to go with far and we're going to go with high. For this one, I'm just going to go back over here so it doesn't cause any issues with the tree. But you can see how simple it is to just change the parameters or the settings through the drone itself without an app or a controller. So this is now far follow. It's going to go a bit higher and a bit further away when I start walking. So it's going to follow me from behind here, but it's keeping a decent distance. You can see it still kind of stays pretty close because it is a small drone. You don't want it to get out of hand. But it definitely is a higher following point and it's definitely further away. All right, let's keep going this way. Just have it follow. And let's hope that it's not too high for the trees. No, we're fine by the looks of things. Perfect. So that is my first experiences, literally first time flying the HOVERAir X1 PROMAX. Now it feels very, very similar to the X1 in terms of its build quality and its performance, but still the same principle here, still that same folding design, still the same button on top, the chimes, the sounds, all of that's great, which is on point because it keeps that brand, I guess, awareness, right? And that brand recognition because it's a unique experience with this drone. So that's really cool to see. I'm excited to see what the slow motion looks like, the HDR and the 8K. All the modes worked fine, no issues with that. I love playing around with the controller. Having the motion control is cool. Having that little beacon is really cool. I do want to test it some more and see what else I can do with it and fly it just a little bit further and test it out with a bit more wind. But in this nice little contained area, there is still wind. It's pretty exposed here. You've got like the ocean just over here. So it's a good testing spot. And I feel like it did a great job in this area. So let's push it a little further and come back to the channel for the full review and all my other videos I'll have in this guy. I do really like it so far, and I'm keen to see what else it can do. I'll chat to you in the next one though, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.